Hi guys, how are you? Welcome everyone. Today we have a very special guest. As you know, at the EBM Scholars, we find ways where we can get some stories from different people, not just to hear from one person in the immigration story, thinking that that is the entire experience of America or Europe. But when we hear from different people, from different stories, background, it helps for us to have that kind of dream and make the informed decision whether it's a good way to go to a certain country or it's a good way to become a YouTuber, it's a good way to do something by looking for live people who are from your community. Is we are African or people from developing countries. That would be the best way where we can be able to learn. So my special guest today is Shisha Z. Welcome to my channel, my brother.
Great to be here. Great to be here, brother. Yeah, been a long time overdue. It's a pleasure.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So the setup of the interview will be, I will start asking questions. And then at one point, I will allow you to ask me questions. And then we will get questions from people who will be coming here to do
Sounds
that.
Good. Sounds good.
And before we continue, I will usually remind people that they can be getting the opportunity to go and subscribe to a YouTube channel. We'll be talking about YouTube also and about other things we'll be able to do. So you can do two things. You can go to youtube.com and search Shisha Z, and you'll be able to do that. That will be number one way to do that. But number two way you can be able to do is you can let me put his channel here. You can be able to see his channel. That is his channel. But also on the comment section here, I'm going to post his YouTube channel. You can be able to go, and down the road, I'll also go back and put the channel again so that we can be able to go to his channel and learn a lot from him. Okay, so let me start with the questions. Question number one. So what is your full name and where are you from and where are you right now when we are doing this interview?
All right, full name Chisha Sulapwa. I am from Zambia, specifically capital Lusaka, born in Lusaka, Southern Africa. And right now I am in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah. I lived in LA for like 8 years before moved to, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So when I came, I went direct to West Virginia. First of all, the first plane I arrived was LA. Then I went to San Francisco to Stanford for 1 week orientation. Then I went to West Virginia, very different lifestyle. After 1 year, I moved to California and I studied there for like doing my studies and work for like 8 years, whatever. Then
and you were in Los Angeles. What part?
I was San Diego, first of all, based in San Diego. Okay. Yeah. And then obviously at one point I was so much broke, so I had to move to my in-laws. So I had to stay. They live in Ventura, just like in Simi Valley, which is the first county after LA. So when you finish the LA county, you start with the Simi Valley. So it's just like 45 minutes from LA.
San Diego is a nice area.
Yeah, it's better than LA, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think some parts are. You don't like some of the busy traffic over here, huh?
I usually don't like. I mean, LA is too much for me.
Yeah, I know.
San Diego, yes, it's big, but is it spread? There is no much complications. Yeah, but is it still? I mean, and it's not. It still is expensive, but it's not expensive like it's in LA.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I have to still get used to the traffic here, man. It can get crazy, you know, and a 50-minute car ride easily turns to 45 minutes. And I had to wrap my mind around that because I was starting to be late everywhere I go. You know what I mean? So after some time, I had to like make that adjustment to anticipate the terrible traffic here in Los Angeles. But I enjoy being out here. I love it.
But the weather is very, very good. The best thing about California, you don't need to worry about letting me check the weather to what kind of, you know, for sure the lowest will go to be 65 most of the time. Like,
yeah, it's wonderful.
When it is 60 degrees, you are celebrating here.
Yeah, at 60, huh?
Yeah. So how long have you been in US in general?
Since I was 7 years old. I've been in the US. So it's been about 20 years now because I'm currently 27.
Yeah, because I have the different kind of food. When I was looking your videos, when we talk about that, yes, I know you are already from another country, but you are more acclimated to the culture more than when you are immigrant. Most of the immigrants come at the age of 26 to 35. Most of us come that. So for you, it's a little bit different. So I knew like you have been here longer than majority of us.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I came here really, really young, and what I hear is if you come here around, I think the cutoff was 7 or somewhere around there, then you kind of can transition easier. They did some studies and found out after 7, you know, you kind of have some stuff that's cemented in you. So that's the only way I can explain that.
Which I agree is very, very true. Yeah. Because you already have a lot of affiliation with culture, how you talk, the food, and so many things. And you already have a group of friends, like community where you are. But when you are young, you don't care. You just go there and just today,
Very
tomorrow,
true.
have a bunch of friends. Yeah.
Very true.
So how was it for you in general, even if like school-wise, like going to elementary school, going to high school here, how was it?
Man, it was good, but it was also a challenge. I remember because we didn't come to California right away.
Yeah.
We first moved to Michigan. And so when we moved to Michigan, we went from, you know, never seeing things like snow before to coming in the dead of winter, snowing. And the snow in Michigan, if you've ever been there before, gets incredible, you know, hard to deal with sometimes, putting chains on the tires and things like that. And then having to go to school and be in a school where you're the only black kid, walking around and wondering why everybody's looking at you. And then you finally figure it out, you know, and on top of that, you have an African accent. They put you in phonics classes so you can learn how to pronounce words, you know, in the American way. I remember going through all of that, but you know, it's, I guess, part of the immigrant story. It's a quick, tough transition, but you know, you get used to it.
Exactly. So when did you move from Michigan to California?
That's a
And
really
was
good
it
question.
associated because you want to run away from snow to go to the better weather?
You know, part of it. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't have much say when it came to moving. Of course, you know, I was too young. My mother, she came here because there was a high demand in nurses during that time. Yeah. And it was before, interestingly, it was before 9/11. And before 9/11, it was a lot easier for people to travel because they didn't have as much of the, you know, sort of security and the rules they have at checkpoints. And, you know, they got a lot strict with getting people over here. So 3 or 4 years, I think, 3 or 4 years in Michigan. And then we moved to California.
Okay. And you have been there ever since, or you, at one point you moved to another state again, or you were just...
Ever since we've been in California. So it's been Michigan, California.
And you don't, after staying that long, you don't want to go anywhere else?
Ah, man, California is too good, man. The number one thing you said there, the weather.
Yeah.
I don't know where, and right now you're over in
Missouri.
Yeah, that's
Kansas.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's not too bad over there.
It's not too bad. Yeah. I mean, the only difference when it is hot during the summer is so humid compared to California is it dry. So, but here you're just like in a sauna sometimes. But in California, you can be outside and enjoying a lot during the summer than here.
I tell myself all the time, there's no way I could leave California. It's just too spoiled. You know, we complain when it starts to rain and it gets a little bit cold. You know what I mean? Everyone else is dealing with snow. But yeah, been here ever since and don't plan on living in California. I mean, unless if I'm going to go back home to visit.
Okay, that's good. Speaking of going back home, for you is the different, like from me. For me, I came already, I was 27, going to 28. So I have so much memories. I have so many like relatives, like connection. Compared it to you coming as a child, yes, you didn't have so many people. Yes, you still have relatives, but not close. Like for me, I have people study primary school, secondary school, high school, college, all those kind of like. So you still have so much affiliation. So you feel at one point you feel that maybe I can go and retire in Africa or move and stay maybe there for 10 years one time, then come back here. Do you have that kind of mindset going in you at the moment or not yet?
That's a really good question. To be honest with you, so in 2017, I was in Zambia, right? That's the last time I was there. I actually went there with my immediate family, both my mother and father and my sister. We're visiting there, and I remember while I was there, I thought to myself, you know what? I need to make sure I come here and live here for a good period of time, you know? Because when you move to another country, you got to think at 7 years old, I barely had family. There was a few family that was here in the States, but we're so spread out.
Yes.
You lose those things like uncles. These are the things people don't think about. You know what I mean? Aunts. We didn't really have cousins.
Neighbors.
You know, we had a few of them. Yeah, exactly. We had a few of them, maybe, you know, over in Texas. I had some cousins in Texas. But overall, when I go back to go visit home, I'm reminded about what I'm missing out on in that sort of community and family. So yes, it's definitely come to my mind. I haven't really thought of when I'm going to do that, but definitely told myself maybe about 5 years or so, going back home and just, you know, reconnecting with my family because they treat me like I never left every time I go back.
Which is very, very good. You see, okay, oh, I'm back home. There is nothing like nothing like home. Yeah, that is better experience. Yeah. So let me ask you about YouTube. What made you start your YouTube channel?
Oh man, that's a good question too. I've started a few channels actually.
Yes.
I've always been interested in film. I went to the Art Institute to study film. I dropped out after 2 semesters. When I realized that a lot of this stuff, I would pay attention to the graduates. I would be graduating, and I would see them and would talk to them and say, "Hey, was this worth it?" You know, that's just the way my mind worked. You know, I understood it was an art school, and it could have gone either way. I could have finished it and been hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, or I could have maybe gone my own solo way of approaching it. And I never asked myself, what do you want to do in film school? You don't want to be an actor. You don't want to make movies. What is it about video that you enjoy? And I figured it out. I just enjoy the whole creative process of just making videos. And so later on, I decided, hey, let me start a channel. A few of them failed. And then eventually I got into the Afro beats. Now, the reason I started doing Afro beats in specific is because I intentionally react, and this is a good idea for any musicians out there, right? Because it worked for me, and I'll probably continue it. But I was writing Afro beats music, and I didn't have an audience because I was new to the genre as a musician. And so I figured if I react to Afrobeats music, I could then use my audience as leverage to cross promote, right? And of course, give them the reactions. And that's what I was doing. And then once in a while, I listen to Gary Vee a lot. He talks about jab, jab, right hook. That jab, jab in boxing is giving. You give people what they want. And then when you ask them for something, they're inclined to do it because they see that you're providing immense value. And then I started getting a lot of people who were listening and streaming my music in the genre that I was creating. So that was the thought process in my mind.
Oh, that's good. And for this particular channel, when did you start it?
This channel, it was last year, probably about, I'd say, probably about a year ago.
Yes, because
almost exactly.
Yeah.
If you go and look at my oldest video, maybe a year is when I started to get
Yeah.
really serious with it.
Yeah, because for me, I started
It might say
knowing.
2 years on there, actually. Go
Yeah,
ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
started in the beginning of the pandemic
Okay.
when I started like coming to your YouTube channel. So yeah, it is mostly like most of the videos were just a year ago.
Was it about a year? Is the oldest
Yes.
one 2 years? Because for a while I
2
didn't
years,
know what
yes,
I
you
was doing
took like
for it.
2 or 3, whatever, then you stopped.
Okay.
But later you start like most like you, like if you look like an actual really starting is mainly after 1 year.
Yeah. For a while
Okay.
there, I didn't know what I was doing. It was just shooting into the dark a little bit. And so I guess that's how things start. You kind of just shoot into the dark until something starts to pick up.
Okay. So apart from, if you look on your YouTube channel videos, you started with reaction mostly to the music.
Yeah.
But later, if you look now, you change, it becomes into a little bit deeper analysis. Is a reaction, but it has more in-depth analysis of so many issues. Issues can be into relationships, issues related to how people perceive the issue of income in terms of relationship, or the issue. There are so many issues you are just going to deal with those, but is a little bit more in-depth discussion compared to the previous one. Can be 5-8 minutes reaction on a song. So what went behind to make this particular change?
So it was an intentional decision. I intentionally first thought to myself, what do I want out of this YouTube channel? And I figured after some time and thinking about it, I said, you know what? I want to build a personal brand. And I just didn't want to build any type of brand. I wanted it to be as authentic as possible, right? And so part of the things I dealt with as a young man was issues with modern day dating in our modern day.
Yes.
And if you're not fortunate to, have a wonderful marriage right now, then you're in a situation, I'm in, where you're dealing with this kind of change in like the dating atmosphere, and giving kind of been a voice to men of the challenges they have dating modern women, to be specific. Because the older I got, the more I realized how just more traditional I was. And not only that, there were certain things I wanted from a woman, you know what I mean? But a lot of men are lost these days, with marriage rates, divorce rates being so high. And I mean, it's way over 50% at this point. 80% of those within the Black community initiated by the women. There was something I felt was missing, was wrong. I was studying, I was reading a lot of information, and just got some insight. I wanted to share it and just tell my story, you know what I mean, after learning more. And then I started kind of doing the reactions to other dating coaches on YouTube, and we'll deal with certain situations like, how to approach a woman, the difference between feminine and masculine women, very controversial topics, actually.
And yeah. And on
But
top of that,
go
it
ahead.
made a very big change, like even in terms of, as you say, you are branding, it completely changed. If you look like the last six weeks, or just most like 6 to 8 weeks, even the number of viewers on your channel have been so many of those.
Yeah.
And they are more returning, if I can simply say, because on the comment section, we usually see, like usual suspects. Oh, this person usually is here. So you can see most of the time.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And that was intentional itself. I did a lot of research to kind of see what goes into creating a personal brand. But to be honest, I just wanted to talk about things that were real, things that men were dealing with. So my channel is specifically mostly for men. I do have a female audience. They're smaller and they can learn a lot, but it's for men to solve issues and kind of have conversations about issues that are centered around modern dating and lifestyle. And as soon as I made that switch, I noticed that people would be more engaged because they could relate to the problems that I was addressing in the content I have. And of course, currently right now, I do a lot of reactions to other podcasts like Fresh and Fit podcast, Kevin Samuels, who is also another
I watched him when he was
guy.
interviewed by what is that channel?
Vlad TV, maybe.
Yeah, was interviewed by Vlad.
Okay, yeah, there's Vlad. He's been on a few of them actually.
Yeah,
Joe Budden, he was on there, and one other one.
And I learned a lot from Vlad, the technique of interviewing people behind the camera. So yeah, that guy is doing a very good job too.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't complicate, but he's doing a great job. Yeah. So what do you plan, like if because each person has different goals, in the next 5 years on the YouTube branding and how big you want to become? What do you see yourself in the next 5 years of your YouTube?
You know, I really don't think of things that way. I think of things as more, I focus on what's happening right now. So it's hard for me to make 5-year plans because what I've learned is you never know. You know, I started off doing the Afrobeats reactions, which is great because I love African music. I love our Nigerians, especially, for coining that sound. You know what I mean? It's wonderful music. But at the same time, too, I didn't know that I was going to make this transition to making the type of content I do. So my goal in the next 5 years is to bleed through my eyes and just concentrate and work and work and work and work and make adjustments depending on, you know, where the brand leads. Of course, growth is something that I want, but right now I'm just enjoying the content I'm making. I'm enjoying the conversations. I like the pace I'm growing at, and I'm learning, and we'll see where it gets me. But yeah, just putting in the work between now, 5 years, keeping my head down and pushing.
If I might challenge you and make you more accountable, do you plan in future to have your own book related to the topics you've been talking about? Write a book, put it on the Amazon, put whatever you want, kind of that. That's number one. And do you also plan down the road to officially become a certified expert, like kind of like giving people come to you for specific advice in that particular context? Because what you are doing, if I listen to you, you get so much knowledge. I don't know whether you had all those before, and the way you keep growing, you learn all. So do you plan, like, maybe down the road, maybe apart from maybe I can make the book, maybe I can do appearance on certain kind of events, but do you plan, okay, maybe I can start my own consultation, kind of like a firm? Do you plan to go to that route down the road?
That's such an interesting question, because it's the thing that's interesting about what you just said right there is it's because it's something I feared for a long time. And let me be more specific. I've not wanted to be like a dating coach, but the same thing you just said, when I watch my content, I'm like, man, it's like you're giving dating advice at the same time. And I guess more life coaching.
Yes.
And you know, it's not because I think anything bad about life coaches. I just never thought that like this is where it would go. But the more I see just kind of the way the projection and the way my YouTube channel is growing and the content that I'm speaking of, I'm realizing like, hey, this might be something that's gonna happen in the future. A book, that's a great idea. You know, it's crossed my mind. Never written a book before, but you know what I mean? This might be the moment that, you know, you've brought it up. And
when that time comes, don't worry. I'll make it easier for you. There are so many tools online for free. How to write a book, how to use the template, how to upload on Amazon for free. You don't pay. Because for me, I've written 11 books so far.
Wow.
You can see, but I've never paid any amount of money to anybody. Really? So you put on Amazon, and
Yeah.
it's free. And they'll once they, if let's say I'm giving example, let's say I'm going to print this book, I'm giving example. They say, oh, this is 200 pages, and if it is white pages or black and white inside, they say the cost of print maybe is $5. So if you say I'm going to sell 15, Amazon takes $5 for printing first, and then the remaining amount, author you take 60, and they take 40.
Got you.
That's one. So in the end, your energy is writing. You don't need to promote. If someone buys the book, they print, they ship Amazon. You don't need to do anything.
Okay, so it's like print on demand, kind of.
Print on demand, exactly.
Okay.
So that is one of the way, and you can make a Kindle. And there are also other websites which I'm planning to start that one. You can create, you can put your PDF books there. Like I've been looking why some of the YouTubers, they usually say like these makeup or whatever, or they are dealing with the financial. They usually say, oh, please go, my book is on this link, go and download whatever and buy my ebook. So how do they put it? Like I asked them, like I have to find a way to create my app or whatever. And then I came to realize that you can create. So there are already a platform, so I can put my PDF there. And
it's
someone
wonderful
comes,
knowledge. You're telling me this for free? I appreciate that, man.
do you know why I'm doing this? Usually, I use so much energy to learn certain things, and I don't want someone to use 1 year to learn something, which for myself, I wasted my time. So if most of us, we know this information early, it becomes easier to have so many people with success.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so there are kind of information. And also, you can convert these books to audiobooks, which is very, very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you read? You're the one that does the recording for the audio, or is it somebody else?
Let me tell you why I don't do the audio.
Okay.
Number one, there is the issue of accent. Number one, we have to agree the reality. When I'm making the book, I'm making book for the entire world. I'm not making the book for Africans.
Understood.
You have the accent. And number two is, 1 second.
No problem.
Okay. Ask Benedict to get a strawberry. Okay. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is where for you can understand this much because you grew up here most of the time. So 1 second. Okay. So like reading a book for a child, it's not because you know how to read a book. There is a way how you put your voice, how you go from one sentence to another. But most of us as Africans, we know how to read the book, but as academic, not just as a story. Like, do you see that? So there is a certain way you can read a book. Someone can follow you by watching, by listening, following up. So I say I have to find someone who is Westerner on that background, but also is a professional reading the books for other people.
Got you. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Yeah, so that is another thing. So there is a way on how to do that. Oh, there is a way.
The young man wants to join the live.
Yeah, just wake up. So
no problem.
Yeah. Want to say hi? Say hi first of all.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh.
How's it going? Is that your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 years old.
Good stuff. Wonderful.
Okay. So okay, just drink the water and you relax. So the other reason, so Amazon. So when you create your book on Amazon like that way, so there is another back end. They have another website which is for audios. So you go there and upload your book.
Yeah.
When you upload your book there, I mean, you can upload not the full book. You upload some of the book. When you upload some of the book, so you can request like people who are professional readers. They come there, they do like a trailer. So you can say I want someone who is a female or male, Midwest accent or California accent, New York accent or general, I don't care. All those kind of things. So people come in there, they compete for the bidding, like, okay, so they give their intro. So you can choose which one. So for me, for instance, like, so 3 books of this one, so I can give you example, like I'm giving example, this is the book about my life, my personal book. So for instance, like I have this book. So someone went to read this book. So I chose one guy from Canada because he's having general accent and has been to Africa many times, so he's able to pronounce certain things in African names if I put them there.
Got you.
Yeah. So and it's very cheap. So you can find maybe an hour is maybe 40 minutes. I mean $40 or $50.
Okay.
So reading the full book of 200 pages is $100 to $150. So it's not that too expensive.
Yeah.
And when the audio comes, it's a very professional. Like I listen to myself and say, am I the one who wrote this book?
Yeah.
Like you like, okay.
Yeah.
That's so that is, man. Yeah. So that
11 books so far for you.
Yeah. So this year I'm planning to write 2 other books. One is because the people are applying for the green card lottery, so I'm planning to write one in September to be out, and around the Christmas time I want to release the book about YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because most books by YouTubers are people with a million subscribers.
Do you remember you told me a while back, you used to tell me, hey man, you're gonna get to 10K pretty soon. You know what I mean? You used to kind of come in my DMs and tell me and kind of give me encouragement. I appreciated that, man. I really did.
So
I
for me,
appreciate the encouragement.
If I look at the speed you are going right now, I will not be surprised by the end of the year you are talking nearby 40 going 50, because the speed you are going now, because the nature of the content, you add value, people recommend it. Apart from people to just go there, people will be sharing the video to someone without even asking them. That's people are going to do because, okay, the woman is watching that video. Let me send to my boyfriend. Let me send to my husband. Husband watching. Just watch this one for them to, because if you watch someone, it is easier for them to bring to people to start conversation. So this one becomes like, because it's very difficult in relationship sometimes to start that conversation. But if you have a friends, like, okay, it's not me, I'm not rising, but this guy.
You put what you're saying is people are going to be blaming me for a lot of their issues.
So I mean, but in a good way, that you are going to be like the icebreaker for people to start that deeper conversation in the relationship.
Understood.
Which is a very good way. So people will be recommending, my wife, watch this one, so that you can understand. That means, can we discuss? Just like a point for people to come to discuss. So that's why people will be recommending your videos to so many other videos. That's one. And another thing why your channel will continue to grow faster, I mean bigger, is because you have a very good way to connect with people. Because when you go to watch a YouTube videos, you want to have like, this person knows me, is talking to me specifically. Okay, go to Benedict. Okay. So, okay, go to Benedict. Okay, go to Benedict. Yeah, so that's why, for instance, from day one, when I was watching the videos, you have 1,000 subscribers, but I have to come back because you're just like talking video, how you break down is just like very friendly, very easy, someone easy to follow, kind of that. Because there are some people, they are jack when they're on YouTube. It's just because like when they know something, they're expert, but they cannot connect. Yeah, so that's why we're doing a very good job in that particular area too.
I appreciate the positive feedback, really do.
Yeah.
Really,
and another I mean, like, apart from just like apart from, because there are certain things like those one, but like when you go like look at the quality, man, it's very good quality. There is a consistency of thumbnail. There is this. So there are so many things we are doing already right, everything. But sometimes why someone has, but that you bring that connection. That's why you see like, okay, everybody is now okay. They are following you. They watch. They keep sharing because there is that extra point. It's not just about the high quality video. How do you present it? So that becomes as you, which Yeah.
It got easier the more I did content that I could connect to personally, you know, when it comes to dating and just relationships and dynamics between men and women. It could, you know, that's something I feel like a lot of us could relate to. And it's something that I feel like when people come on the channel, if they can click with my personality, then they definitely have something they can relate to when it comes to the issues that I talk about. But I enjoy it 100%. I enjoy it.
So
It feels like
here, I want to remind people to go to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can put Shisha Z. There's a YouTube channel. I put it on the comment there. You can be able to see. But you have someone from Zambia here. Usual, she's a YouTuber. Kila's Diary. Usual. Also, I subscribe to her channel. She also from Zambia. Usual here. We have so many people from almost everywhere around the world on my channel, and especially people from Africa, Ghana, Kenya. There are so many people. Yeah. So Roll with Liz is also a very good YouTuber from Uganda, but she lives in Colorado. I mean, Denver, Colorado, around that area.
Great. How long have you been doing your YouTube?
So this is a funny thing about me. So I'll go back to the questions for some people.
Okay.
So for me, I usually tell people I didn't know much about yes, I knew YouTube was there. So if I knew YouTube was there, so I was a blogger. So I was doing blogging. So for me, YouTube was not a thing. So I was doing blog, and Facebook was big back in the time, 2007, 2008, when it started. So when I was making videos or whatever, post, I was putting them on blog and Facebook. So I had a camera. So for me, I didn't use YouTube per se. 2010, one day, you know, when you were in your birthday, you usually go so many things in your head, whatever. So a day after my birthday, I said, okay, maybe I can start my YouTube channel. That was 2010. So I opened a YouTube channel, but I didn't have any plan. Why for? I didn't have any plan. I'll be making videos, but I was making one video per year.
So one video a year, huh?
Yeah. So in October, when it's the Green Card Lottery, I just put the Green Card Lottery. So all my scholarship information, I was posting them on my blog. I didn't post on my YouTube. So then 2018, I had 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Because I had 8 videos. In between, around 2012, I went to the military, so I didn't want to put more of the videos. You were in the uniform, whatever, so I didn't want to put that way. So later, I started posting one here, whatever. 2018, I posted 2-3 videos extra. And they started doing well, but I didn't know analytics. I didn't know even the YouTube pays anybody. I didn't know that. And it was not part of me, but I've been focusing, helping people. What I'm doing on YouTube is what I've been doing all my life, like blogging, answering people questions on Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever. So in 2019, I said, I can take this thing serious now. So in October 15, when I posted the videos, I put high quality videos about Green Card Lottery, 2 of them. They did very well. I said, okay, now I want to do serious. So I started how many videos should I do? How many do I? So for me, despite everything, because it is serious YouTube is 2019, October. So I started doing 3 to 4 videos in a day.
Whoa.
So
okay.
My goal was, because I was looking, for me, I have one tendency. I need to have a goal which is going to say it is impossible so that I can drive myself.
Got you.
So I was looking how many videos should I do in a year? Someone said, in a month, in a week, just make 1 video or 2 videos. But that is possible, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I needed something challenging. One person I said, make 1 video per day for 365 days. I said, okay, I can do that. But still, that is possible. You see, for me, that is not challenging. So I said, okay, I have a goal of making 1,000 videos in a year. That was a tough goal, but I ended making 800 videos.
Wow.
So that 800 views in a year changed the dynamic. So, for me to get 20,000 subscribers in a year, that became known because I was able to I was putting the video. I didn't care how much money I get, whether it's $1, whatever. For me, it still is a building phase.
And you know what? I feel like that's the key right there. What you just said is not caring about the money or where, just setting that goal, keeping your head down and just pushing,
Yeah,
releasing.
So that's why, for instance, like for me, even because there are certain things I usually, like I learn from Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, they have this statement, usually they say, why do you, for instance, you throw the ball into the basket and you do air ball, why are you going to do the second shot? And they say, the second shot has nothing to do with the first shot. This is different angle, different everything, and they have control this one. But I cannot worry about something which is not there anymore.
So I love it.
Yeah. So for me, how many views people are watching my videos? Yes, I will be happy to see my views, but I have no control to force someone to watch my video. But I have control of quality of the video. I have control how many minutes. I have control to put the good quality videos. So that is my control. So for me, that's what I usually say. Like, I'm giving example. In a year, I can say, I want to make maybe, I'm giving example, let's 300 videos. I can have that control, but I cannot control how many views people will be able to watch.
Yeah.
That is something else. It's just like when you go to school to study, my goal is to study, maybe graduate. But if my father, my mother, my friends don't appreciate when I get A, that's their problem.
That's their problem.
Appreciation should not make me mad. It's just like if you're a parent, you post a picture of your child and people don't like it, doesn't mean that you have to stop loving your child.
I think you just hit it on the nail, man. When it comes to YouTube, for most people who have potential, I think it just comes down to that mindset you just gave right there, is caring too much about the results and not focused on just putting in the work.
Exactly. That is the beginning.
And keeping that consistency.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
That's why, for instance, like even like when we are when we are behind the screen, we are talking about learning, keep learning, whatever. So one of the mistakes which I did, but it's a good mistake. It costed me a lot of money, but it's a good mistake. Usually, I don't watch my own videos. When after posting there, I can watch in terms of playing all, because it's just like for my, then I go to do something else, but I don't watch myself. Like, so one person commented like, just like 3 weeks ago, I said, I've been watching most of your videos, but they don't have many advertisements. Why?
You know what? I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. It made sense, because I think if you're going that fast and you're doing 3 or 4 videos a day, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I wonder if he was monetizing those at the end of the 800 and how many he did.
Yeah, so for me, I trusted YouTube, because when you are monetized, you're allowed to put in like skippable and skippable, whatever, those type, and you can put beginning, middle, and to the end. So for me, I assume at least they'll be having 3 ads, which is okay. But they say like some of the ads you find maybe is 20 minutes video, there is an ad maybe only 18 minutes, so not many. So I said, okay, let me go and check and manually put them there. So when I check, almost over 800 videos, they might not have the ads, or there'll be one ad. So I said, so I could be getting like 4,000 or 5,000 right now.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot of money in that sense, because I trusted YouTube to do that for me, put 3 ads in every video.
But it's okay. It wasn't your goal.
It was good. It was this way. Because of that, for me, I didn't look about money. For me, I was able, for instance, in the month of May, first April, I did 72 videos in a month. In May, I did 107. So for me to make 100 videos now is normal, because I'm conditioned to that. But I'm asking, like, what if I could be able to do 2 videos back in the day and I focus on money and I get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? Obviously, I could be lazy. But now, so I don't lower down my spirit. So if the results of money comes, I'm happy. But because I've been able to test myself to the highest possible of making good videos, high quality, many of them. So for me, like, yes, it's a good mistake, but because it doesn't upset me more. So, so now whatever person I talk to person, I say, I have to give that information to some people, but to know that, yes, the money will be coming, but make the videos first of all. What if you don't get money at all? Will you have the energy to make video?
Yes, that's it right there.
That's the good thing. Because do
Yeah.
you like what you're going to do? Like you were saying, for you, you want to brand yourself because now this is part of you. But if you are making video for money, you'll end up like, if I'm giving an example, you find out the video about someone, for instance, like slaughtering an animal public, even if it's not against it, but it has views, you'll be able to put inappropriate videos just to get views. But because you are building a brand, you know how people will be able to define you, how your children can carry on your YouTube, because this is a business.
Yeah.
And if you kind of that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree. And the way I see it, when it becomes about the money, that's an easy way now to start losing. You start losing, because at the end of the day, you will never lose if the main focus of why people are coming back is your brand, because that's something you have control over. You don't have control over the money. Now, when you start changing your brand to match the money, that can go either way. You know,
that's why there is people have been asking me why most of your books you put them for free, or you put it maybe $2, $3. Why? You work so hard. Like there's this book which is I'm giving an example, like 498 pages, but it's a free download online. Why do you do that? So I said my goal is to write 100 books before I die. That's my goal.
Wow.
Because as I said, I have to get a bigger goal to force myself. So if I have to put 100 books, if I allow the market to control my thinking, I will start writing stupid books just to follow the trend.
Mm-hmm.
But now I write what I want, what I enjoy, because I don't expect to get any money from this book. So it will be a book which comes from my heart, compared to
yes.
book right now. For instance, if there are stories about ghosts, I have to write because people want to buy, but that is not me.
And what people don't understand with what you just said right there is you will capture more people's authentic connection, attention, because it came from a real place. People recognize real. When they read it, when they hear it, real people can tell what's real.
I started like seriously October 16th. That is 2019. That is when I started seriously. And I have just like, my goal is just to say, okay, so now it's just like the immediate goal. I want to test myself. Am I able to do 100 videos in a month? Like for the rest of the year, from May I started up to December, possible. But if I don't do that, it's not just the matter of number, but quality videos. So that is also like, okay, let me try this one. If it's going to be do that way, can I duplicate that in the next 5 years? And see after that. That's why I gave myself like, I will be getting smaller money, but after 5 years, I'll be able to say I'm full-time to get a certain amount and then continue doing most of these from home without any particular problem at all.
Yes, yes. Are you still doing probably about, how many would you say you're averaging now in a week, let's say?
So in a week, if I do very, very few, so for me, it's just different. If I do very, very few, I can do maybe 10.
Okay.
But it's, for me, like some of the days when I have the mood, I can record 15 videos. And I can go ahead and post them. So some of the days I cannot post like 1-2 days, but I can go there and post 5-10 videos, kind of that. So depending, okay. And I don't need to monitor like, okay, I have to post at this time. Because I don't care about how many they view, but yes, if I good views. But for me, number one is just like, how can I know how to edit more videos? How can, for instance, like one of the things, for instance, I'm not good in editing. I'm not good into computers, like kind of that. So I had to find what would be the better way to record videos I can edit or not doing editing at all. So one time last year, I put the green screen. So I learned how to do the green screen thing. I purchased the Final Cut Pro, whatever, 300 something. So I recorded the video, editing, and that video, I posted there. It didn't do well at all. The energy I used was so much energy.
Oh, I know that feeling.
But it's like, I need to find a simple way. So I came to realize that I can have the fake background instead of creating the completely like, then instead of doing green screen, because when I was editing, I had certain green. So you have to be very expert to change all the. So now all these are fake. So I have like this one, like I have like 12 now, different one. For instance, like, even
wow.
So many of these one, like, so anytime I want to change,
that's the back on his bookshelf, right?
Yes, it's a fake one. So if I turn it around this way, there is another fake one over there.
Wow, nice. I wouldn't have guessed.
Hello?
Yeah, it's kind of cut off there. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Am I back? I think we're back.
There is something wrong. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Hello,
see
hello.
you.
Are you able to see to hear? Yeah, sorry. When I turned the computer, I think they plugged it into. Yeah.
No problem. And here I thought you just read a lot of books with that background.
No, because I used to have the real bookshelf, but I have to find the proper way. So I have like this one, I have the other one that can be like in a nice house. So it makes easier. So I don't need to edit this one. And then I said, okay, let me find the lens which I need to have a blurry background. So I was learning. I took like even photography at school. I went to community college, 25 degrees, just to learn about that. I used my veteran, like, but it still was difficult. I came to realize it's just a lens. So if you put a lens, there is a special lens for that. It's easy. So now I know what lens I have. I purchase the lens. What angle should I put? What distance should I put in order to have that impact? So I have to learn different ways now to make it easier to be able to record more videos of high quality in that way.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very good.
It's just like keep learning and make it easy on my end and the recording. And another thing, what makes a little bit in my videos, I separated the videos into two ways. There are videos which I don't need to go and read anything. I have in my own knowledge. And there are videos I needed to read something to be able to provide content. For instance, if I have to talk about the mortgage specific, yes, I know, but if I have to talk specific a certain thing, I have to go to read certain points. But if, let's say I'm talking about getting scholarships because I wrote the 3 books about scholarship, I got a scholarship. I know how to, whatever. Or you give my story, how I came to America. I don't need to go and write anything down. So I divided into my content into those kind of two. Okay, what videos can I do without going to start reading, printing certain documents, doing those kind of things. I even bought the teleprompter. But when so I told myself, like, when I'm doing this one, I look like a fake, like, okay.
Yeah.
So I've never used even on the public. I purchased one. I said, no, I cannot use that one. So
got you. You want it to come out authentic.
Yeah. So all those kind of things is just keep learning and make sure that we are doing that way. Wonderful. So how about the music part? What made you to join the music?
I've been writing music for as long as I can remember. Since a child, you know, probably my number one passion is probably writing music, you know. And if you're cursed with a passion for music, you know, like they call it the starving musician. At the end of the day, most likely you may not make money from it, but we live in a generation where it's the easiest time you can possibly make money from your music, get your music, record it. And so I've been been writing music ever since I was young. You know, it's just been another part of me, which I'll probably start writing more music and introducing some on my YouTube channel too, eventually here, as I continue building.
That's good. Yeah. For me, if you tell me choose between running 5 kilometers and dance for 1 minute, I'll choose the option of running.
instead of dancing.
I'm the worst in this world. I can listen to the music, but dancing?
Yeah.
Easy
if it makes you feel any better, I'm not a big dancer either. I've just never been. You know what I mean? My whole family dances. My dad, my God. My mom, my sister. I've never been a dancer. Just never been. So I kind of understand where you're coming
That's
from.
why I partner with the one lady. She's dancer for Diamond Platinums. So what I did with her, so we did the interview a couple of times to become friends. So I asked her to create a special tutorial. And I posted them to my YouTube channel. So now, just to make it easier for people, like if they want to dance, like what are the steps, kind of that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're African and you have to dance, but you cannot.
Africans that can't and don't dance, man, it's a weird thing. And I can move, you know what I mean, on beat and dance, but I'm not a dancer, in anywhere of the sense. I don't think it's important. It's just never really.
So you see, like this video, so this lady, she's just like doing the dancing. So I just go to like specifically like dance like African. What are the tutorials, step by step, all that kind of, because I want also to help other people, because myself.
That's a great idea for your channel too.
Yeah.
And she does like African style dancing, of course.
Yes, so like she's explaining to people like what are the steps you need to do, like, so she's break down like is African, for instance, like what are the steps, what are the things you have to do, what are the, because we take these things for granted, like, but yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so she has been in all songs of Diamond and all Wasafi, whatever. So she's a very good professional dancer. I interviewed her and her story, how she has been focusing more about the dancing and everything. And she has a very good YouTube channel, which is over 150,000, whatever. So
wonderful.
Yeah, and that is something like we usually encourage people, especially in Africa, how they can use other sources of income, because you find someone having a degree and you're getting paid $400, but the person has a talent of dancing. Person has done become a comedian, but because I have a degree, I cannot do this.
Yeah, exactly. I was never good in school at all. I wasn't interested. I'm not somebody that really, a lot of people are surprised when they hear me say that, because they assume that I graduated college and everything. I wasn't interested in school, and my whole life has sort of kind of been about entrepreneurship and kind of taking an unorthodox approach to, figuring that out. Of course, the rest of my family, they're all academics. Father, an accountant. My mom, she went to nursing. She wanted to try to get me into it. And my sister, she's studying law. And me, I just was not interested at all. And even now, they're kind of seeing the YouTube thing and maybe now kind of taking it kind of seriously. But at first, they just thought I was a fool, the African kind of perspective on people that do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I didn't want to go to school and I wasn't intelligent enough to go to school and learn all these things, but I sort of knew what I wanted myself, and, been working hard to go towards that way.
Myself, I mean, usually we argue with my wife when you come, like, for me, like at this point, I don't see the value of wasting your time for 18 years to go to college. I don't see. Okay, if you want to become, IT, study IT, specific, hands-on, do whatever you want to know how to make a website. You don't need to learn about physiology or something. You want to be IT. Other things nowadays, you can go to the YouTube, see, you can answer any question you want.
The key is knowing what you want to do first. Of course, there are certain professions that you need to go to school.
Yes.
And then you have to stay in school, and that's good and that's okay.
Yes.
But I worked with too many people. I've worked with too many people with 2 or 3 degrees back when I was working in a Chinese restaurant. And this guy is over here and he's telling me about his degrees and everything. And I'm just like, wow, you're over here in the same place I am. At the time, I was doing Shopify. I've always been doing stuff online on the side. But what I've learned is like going to school, especially right now, doesn't always guarantee success. You have to change the way you look at what's happening to our society right now with technology, capitalizing on this digital age that's changing so fast.
Yeah, because I'm giving an example. Let's say my daughter, for instance, she has a very different personality, like very happy all the time. and she's good into camera. She likes to do videos. She likes to talk, whatever. So it reached a point for me, like I'm questioning, like, why should I'm giving, obviously she like to go to school, but if she wants to, I'm giving example, she wants to do, let's say, YouTube, she can do it to the level. And if you want to be a YouTube about finance, just find a special course of finance, be the expert, do your videos at that possible level. Go and read the books. People are reading the books just to get knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not like I have to get like a degree just to have, a bachelor degree in political science. And what are you doing? Like
useless degrees, some of these degrees.
The president didn't go to politics. Arnold Schwarzenegger's governor didn't do any politics. So in the end, like, do you really need this one, or you really need just to travel, read books, and be expert in what you need to know?
Mm-hmm.
Because
and hands-on courses.
For instance, there is no any degree about talking about scholarships. But for me, I've become expert in scholarships because I got it and I invested my time, explained to people, broke down, wrote the books. But there is no degree for that.
Yeah.
But if someone wants to know things like this one, you can say, okay, let me learn how to. These are the steps. You can be advising people about how to get scholarships, even if you don't have a degree. But these are the steps. They don't change. Kind of that. So.
Yeah, working into your strengths right there. It's very, 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 very true.
There is one person has, I think he's also, is having LOBM warm greetings from Kigali. I like your advice. I would like to ask you if to make low content books and sell on Amazon guarantees to get money. This is what you have been saying. There is no guarantee of getting money.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and number one thing, usually when I'm writing the books, what is in my mind? I will have a copy for myself, like this one. So no matter what, I will sell one book for myself, and I will sell 3 books when my kids grow up. So I've guaranteed 4 copies. One now, the rest of the copies when the kids grow up, they will be able to do that. So if any other person buys the book, it's okay. But if you want to write a book as a business, like to get money, you have to get a promotion. You have to really invest money too. But if you're going, I'm going to do for free, and then you just chill, you have to promote your book. You have to do a book tour. And for instance, you're in Africa. You are writing a book for who? So are you writing for the world or for the context of Africa? If you're writing for the context of Africa and you put it on Amazon, how many do they have access to purchase on Amazon and the book to be shipped to Zambia, shipped to Tanzania? So you have to look all those kind of things. But that's why I usually tell people, when you're going to write a book, forget about money, first of all. Write a book for your own legacy. For instance, what if I die today? My daughter is 2 years old. Another one is 5. Another one is 10. What I did was very simple. Let me show you. Let me show you. When my son turned to be 1 year old, I was looking what will be the gift to give my child will forever remember that part of gift. So it's 1 year old. If you go and buy a shoe, we'll forget. Yes, there is a cake. There is so you can do bigger celebration. People forget, but I say I want to find something which will remember for the rest of his life. So I wrote him a letter. Obviously, we had the birthday part, but I wrote him a letter and addressing him like, today is my last day. Like, okay, why I'm writing this? I mean, what's your name? Why do we give you the name? Just to give the context behind and why we love him, whatever, how being my child is the firstborn changed my perspective as a person, all those kind of things is the first letter. Then, on every single special occasion, birthday or something, I have to write him a letter. Then I started writing for my wife. Then I started writing for my other children. So I collected all those letters I wrote to my child, which for my son, which were there more than 150, and I converted to make this book. So this book is a collection of letters to my child. So if I die today, he doesn't need to find how did my father love me. He knows every single thing, every special occasion. I wrote him a letter here.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful.
Then my daughter was born. I continued that same tradition. Then I made the book. This is a collection of letters to my daughter. the happiest girl on earth. And then the other one is 2 years old. When was still pregnant, I came writing, what if I'm going to die before I was born? What if? So I started writing letters to my unborn daughter. So while he was still not born, I'm addressing her all those kind of questions. So these the
Wow.
3 books. So you see, like when I'm writing, I'm not writing for the purpose of selling, getting money. Number one,
Yes. Yes.
I'm writing for the first of all for them, and through this way, I've inspired other people. For instance, there is another lady wrote a book about the same format, like letters to her daughter or to her son. Now she has 2 books already. So it's just like influencing other people. So that's for me, like, okay, this has more impact than if I sell 100 copies. Because if I want to have a book for money, I have to find which book sells, what topic sells. But this one, yeah.
To be honest with you, you see my entrepreneur mind right there. When you're telling me all this, I immediately went to how many people want what you're doing right there, and you can set it up in a way so that they can have that. You know what I mean? For example, I just don't. That's such a wonderful idea. That's a wonderful idea. What you did right there for your children.
Yeah.
That truly is.
So because I don't want, like, so what I'm planning to do, there is Udemy. You know, the Udemy, the website which people sell courses. So I want now to create a special professional course, like how to write a book. How do you put ideas just for the matter of live legacy? So like these kind of things, I'm writing them. I'm going to make special videos and writings. Then I will sell on Udemy. But here on YouTube, I'll be talking for free, and people can be able to get it like step-by-step course, kind of that. And also,
do you know what I think would work better? If you don't mind me interjecting, is if you set up, because people don't want to do that work. You know, that's the first thing that came to my mind. And of course, right now my mind is in entrepreneurship waves right now. I'm thinking if you had like a form where people could fill out, and maybe it take them a week or something, information for their daughter, for their child, and that could be converted into a book, and it was a service as a gift. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
I think people would go there and say, reason you did this. Why did you give him your name? Why this? My fondest memory of you. My this, my that, my that. You have all that information in there. And if it was of a website that printed, here's why I'm not afraid to say this business on a public platform, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot of work for anybody to do that. And I think that right there is a winning gift idea from a parent. You know, it would take a lot of dedication and work. And I'm not somebody who believes in keeping ideas to yourself in any ways. Why? Because I realize it takes blood, sweat, and tears to get anything going. But I could see someone going to a website, filling out a form, and say this form usually takes about a week. Take your time, don't worry, but as soon as you're done, you have a book printed for you at this time. It costs this much. It comes wrapped in a gift to get sent to your loved one.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. One time I was planning to do, like, I'm interviewing, like I'm talking to someone, they talk to me, whatever, and then I'm writing a personalized letter direct to the person as a gift. So, but I like your idea more. You can convert into a short book of that kind of nature.
And we'll talk more after this. You know what I mean? I might want to get involved in that.
It'd be a very good idea, yeah. For me, I mean, that's where the good thing about collaboration. You don't need to do everything on your own. You can do with other people. Great minds come together, do something amazing. That's
yeah.
For me, I'm very good into kind of these kind of writings, whatever. I'm okay with that. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, you just opened my head there to like saying, wow, that's such a wonderful gift, man. A book from your father or mother that never really, you can hold on to it forever. It truly is.
Yeah. So for me, like when you want to write something, first of all, see the value, not like how many books, because in order to sell books, how many millions of books of the similar content, they are already there. For instance, this is the funny part. After the election 2016, I wrote a book to write why Hillary Clinton was lost that election. So the book was called It Was Not Russia. But before coming to this title, I came with 3 titles, but one of them, which was the final version before, this one came just by accident because Rob Schneider was interviewed and he made a comment. And out of that comment, I can change my book to this one because it was the time when they talk about Russian interference, whatever. But for me, that didn't, because I studied political science, there are reasons why someone can lose the election. But the original title of the book was What Happened. That was my original title. So, and my book came 1 year or 2 years before Hillary made her book. And when her book, so my book already published, when her book came, and the book title was What Happened. And my book, I already made the title, whatever, and the book cover. I said, so you see, like, so if my book and whatever have the same book, Hillary Clinton and mine, obviously her book will be the bigger one, obviously.
Yeah.
You look like you are copying to her. But the point is, like, sometimes it's just like there are so many processes going behind the scene until you come ahead to find, okay, this kind of like your title, whatever, all those kind of things to make it interesting. Yeah. But it's a very good way. Like, that's why for me, I encourage people, like, let's use the platform for free first of all.
11 books you said so far that you've written.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if
and do you when it comes to writing, is it pen and paper?
What? When it comes to writing?
Yeah. How does it look? You starting from scratch? Is it just pen and paper, writing on there, and then you convert it to, or you're doing it on the laptop?
So okay, so for me,
your process.
I'm doing on right now. I'm doing direct from. So there is Amazon, whatever, Kindle. They have a free template. So for instance, you want to make the book of this size, so you download the already template there. So you type from there. So you don't need it to go extra. So if you say, I want 6x9, whatever the size you have. So when you type, it's already templated from there. But now it makes easier because I can use Microsoft Office and it types for me. So I don't need it to type per se. I just talk, blah, 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 blah. Then it types for me. So that makes it easier for now. Someone was asking about the free download book, so of this scholarship one. So I want just to, if someone goes to that website, which I'm going to show here, they can be able to see. If you go here on my other site, you'll see like download PDF. Okay, so if you go here, you can be able to see to download the link over there. So let me put the link on the comment. Okay, so Kayla is asking about that. So that you can be able to get the free book. Yeah, so, but I'm planning to do so much things to change, like to brand more. So on the writing books, for me now, I slowed down to writing. A special couple of things happen. Number one, I wrote a book about green card last year. I was planning to release in July, and then there was, with the election and everything, Trump wants to delete, to end the lottery part. Biden wants, obviously, Democrats want to continue. Trump was planning to introduce the Canada immigration, which is a merit-based. If you have a degree, you get points. So I had to stop because even if I write it and it's going to be cancelled, it doesn't make sense. But so now,
and it was looking like it could have gone either way during that election day.
Yes. So now I'm writing the book. Not just, yes, you can apply green card lottery, but beyond that, what if you don't come to America? What is your goal? What is your objective? How can you attain everything while you are there? But what if you go to Canada? What if you go to Australia? I don't want people to put the entire dream on just on the lottery only. So that book is bigger than that. So now I've started writing that one. So that the previous book doesn't make sense at all, because it was more about applying, getting the lottery, whatever. But this one, lottery would be like 1-2 chapters, but more would be like bigger thing that beyond that kind of.
Got you. That's great.
Yeah. So now I'm more into writing in terms of like I can be audio. I mean, just talk and it types for me. But so I slow down writing, especially last year. After that, what happened? But focusing more on YouTube to make more videos on that nature. But now I can. That's why I'm saying, okay, before 2023, which is October, I have to release that book about the green card lottery, and then by the end of the year, I have to release the book about YouTube, because yes, many people, these high YouTubers, it's okay for them to talk about to grow YouTube channel, but the stress of someone to reach 1,000 subscribers, the stress of someone in Africa to know the content, because here, most of here, we sit inside, we talk. But if you're in Africa, you have so much content. You can go outside the house and just record about chicken. How do you envision like my videos will be watched entire world, not just in Kenya only? So that's
and I think they're opening up monetization in a lot of African countries now. You know, they're
very, very good. Yeah,
which is a good thing.
So those are the things I'm looking forward to keep doing, keep collaborating with others, sharing with others. Yeah. So
where is your channel? It sounds like it's maybe going through a rebranding phase right now.
Yes. So I do two things. One, I don't want my YouTube channel just to be green card lottery.
Okay.
Which I also talk about scholarships, how to get a scholarship, process everything. But I don't want to be limiting on that, because my overall channel is education. So education in what sense? Why are you going, for instance, like last week I was talking to college in Tanzania, like through visual, like they had this special presentation, I had 2 hours to talk. Like, why do you go to school, to college? And are you aiming just to go there and get just $500? What are the things you can be able to do while you at the university as a student? Because most of them there, they are full-time students. They don't volunteer. They don't do part-time jobs. Have you looked at the part-time jobs overseas, online, with the COVID, all those kind of things? You are studying journalism. Why don't you have your blog? Why don't you have your YouTube channel? Is it free? You have a phone, smartphone. What do you use your smartphone for? So for me, like, it will be also kind of like, you are the lawyer. Why don't you have your YouTube channel? Not just to get money, just to brand yourself, to give also something to the community. You are a teacher, a doctor. Here, everybody is doing that. So that's why my channel is going to that particular, educating us other people, despite where you live. How can you be able to succeed, not just to have to go to the Western country? Because some people, let's say someone already has a house. Someone has already a farm, 5 acres of something. To go ahead and start like coming to America and starting doing the jobs at McDonald's, sometimes it's very frustrating. So not all the time you must go to the West, but you can in ethics of working or agriculture or business, you can do on your own. Yeah. You are studying to do IT, you know how web design, to create app, to create. Why do you need to wait to be able to get a job? Why can't you use your Instagram everywhere to start creating?
I think that's a wonderful turnaround. That's a wonderful perspective you're going into in your content.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. Those kind
wonderful change of perspective right there.
Yeah, so that is
a good focus. I really do believe that, because for a lot of people, even if they do end up coming here, the older they are, they'll just end up wanting to go back home.
Yes.
After some time. You know, home is home at the end of the day.
And that's why I tell people all the time, like, you need to have the purpose. And don't come here just you're coming to wash dishes for the rest of your life. Better to stay in your country, will be more happy than being here. So
I forgot a show I watched. It was a long time ago. It was about some refugees that they brought over to the States, and the amount of depression some of them dealt with coming to a place where they sort of lack purpose, because lacking purpose doesn't only kind of lead to you feeling unfulfilled, but could also lead to you doing things that you never thought you did. You know, a lot of these people got involved in the wrong things, you know, and you don't have family here and connections like that, or you just, you know, feel left out. You know what I mean? Depending on your age. I know I have a lot of family that moved down here and they just went right back
And
home.
just you are born in Africa, you are raised to have the culture of outdoor lifestyle. To come here to stay indoor, man, that is another level of depression.
It's different.
Like
it's different.
You're just like staying for entire week. You can be inside the house. It's
Yeah.
outside over there.
The whole week inside on the same chair.
Yeah. So that is another big challenge. The older you become, the difficult it becomes to survive here. So when you come, I usually tell people, come with a purpose. I'm coming here. Do you want to, if you want to stay here, you have to take your skills to the next level, find different ways, not just, okay, I must be employed. What other way can you do business? Can you start, while you are working, can you start Amazon, selling Amazon? Can you start selling on eBay? Can you do like other gigs, kind of that? Because immigrants sometimes, because we get used to, okay, I get $400, $500, $600 per month because I have a degree. You come here, you work at McDonald's, you get $2,000 per month. You can sometimes you can be easy. Oh, this is good money. You can start thinking money in your context of millions in Africa.
Yeah.
Then you are 10 years of success. Yeah, so that's why we want people. If you come here, come with the mindset like I can become a governor, I can become president, whatever. You cannot be president because you are not born here. But just have that mindset. I can be anybody at highest level.
Yes, sir.
And I have to change to go back to Africa. I'm going there to be also great. Not I'm going there because over there people have the house, their own house with the cash, not a mortgage. So people there will be, you go back, you find people, they're chilling at their home, they're having their farm, they're chilling, and you get depressed again when you go back if you are not good into investing also there. So it's a very big challenge. I mean, so we want also people to see all those kind of things and not to see, oh, this guy lives, oh, there is green, whatever, is in California, whatever. But there is more than that. People have to see.
Yeah. Very true.
Just like you, now you have been doing a lot of workout to lose weight. And so people, they'll be, oh, this guy has lost weight, whatever. They see the after photo. They didn't see how many hours you wake up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. you go.
Oh, man.
How many hours you just do veggies, you spend the money to buy fresh strawberries versus going to McDonald's. They don't see that.
Oh, man. The sacrifice. The sacrifice, man. That's the whole diet here in this country is another thing. You know what I mean? That if you don't watch out for, just takes you off. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. So all those kind of things, people have to. So yes, I'm going through the phase of rebranding so many things and changing so many things, but the overall purpose is just, I mean, which I believe it will help many Africans. People, because some people, if we see Africans who are in Africa as YouTubers, they are most like musician, comedian, entertainment, but there are very few who can sit there and just like interview a doctor, like for the, not just for the gossip part, for the, okay, what about the malaria part? What about this, like the issues like how we talk with here?
And do you think that has, I think that has more to do with a change in the way they see, you know, jobs. Like those jobs usually, for a lot of African immigrants, they don't take jobs like YouTube seriously. When in actuality, some YouTubers will make more money than a lot of these, you know, entry-level jobs that you get when you come here and start working. If you're doing okay on YouTube, you can make pretty good money. I heard something recently of YouTubers, successful YouTubers make more money than rappers in the United States, which is very true. Very true.
There is this, let me show you this guy.
But I love what you said there. Is there a way people could leverage their academics? If you're an accountant, can you start a channel that's based in your knowledge in accounting and then use that, you know, to bring in viewership? If you're a nurse, maybe you could talk about your experience doing that. I think there's too little of people who look at YouTube as an opportunity to expand their income. Not only that, but see it as a actual, you know, career path that could supplement whatever they're doing in their life right now.
That's why, for instance, for me, like I'm giving an example. Let's say 2 years to come, 3 years to come, I quit all the jobs and I become a YouTuber. This guy is educated and he's just doing YouTube. So it will help some people to see, oh, this is a career also. So it's not like someone randomly guy who just doing a stupid thing. No. There are someone in Tanzania, apart from musician, like he has most like news information, kind of like interviewing people, whatever. So he gets at least 65 to 75, 80,000 US dollar per month. What he's doing, he hired a couple guys, go and get the news for him, and he's posting on YouTube. So per day he's posting 25 to 35 videos every single day.
Wow.
So I want to show you this guy.
And is he posting news from a different country?
No, mostly Tanzanian. So no.
So it's Tanzanian news.
Yes, in Tanzania. Or just interviewing people in Tanzania. Yeah.
Got you. That's genius.
Yeah,
and
so
where is he based?
In Tanzania, Dar es Salaam.
That's genius.
So that's why for me, like the next level of my YouTube where it's going, it will be a point. I'll be having a point people from different countries. I want you to go to interview one doctor in Ghana, maybe interview, if you have an opportunity to interview a minister of interior jobs, whatever. So I'll be having different, so I'll be having contact people. So we'll be having news from everywhere, perspective discussion from everywhere in that kind of, in the future. That will be, That's why, for instance, like now, like for instance, the person like in Tanzania, like dancing, I pay someone to do the video. I partner with someone is doing cooking for me. Yes, I'm very professional chef, whatever, but I don't want to do every single thing myself. So I person per week, per month is going to send me 25 videos of whatever I want. And another lady is doing fashion. So per month, I want 30 videos. So I can collect a bank of videos. And then whatever I want, so I'll be reaching a point, then I'm just posting them. So for instance, this guy, he gets paid more than LeBron James. This guy.
Who's that?
Blippi.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of him.
This guy, his sister or brother, whatever, had the baby. So 2013. So at that time, there are not YouTube videos of high quality. What he saw is high quality. So he said, like, he created YouTube video. He started creating YouTube videos so that his nephew could watch the videos. That was the purpose. So he said, I want high quality, longer videos, like an hour, 30 minutes, so someone can stay there for a longer time without worrying. Because now, yes, they have YouTube Kids. Back then, they didn't have those. So the guy started making the videos. So he's wearing the same clothing, like same style. So all the videos, he's wearing the same clothing. And it's one-man show. So what he's doing, he can go to maybe to trampoline and he's just jumping, stalking, whatever. So that is his video. He's going to the park, so he makes sure that nobody's there. So he pays maybe people to get out, he's playing, whatever, all those kind of things. So the education in that way.
Wow.
Month, this guy now, he has more than 300 million views.
Whoa.
300 million views per month.
Whoa.
So in 4 months, he has more than 1 billion views.
That's crazy.
Apart from that, they have Amazon special tablets for kids, like my kids, they have. Those tablets, they are preloaded with his special show. So on Amazon, those tablets, special tablets for Amazon, they have his show, specific Blippi show. So he gets paid with those ones. If you go to Target, Walmart, there is a special line, just toys of Blippi. So this guy, per month, he makes more than 15 million per month.
Dear God.
LeBron James, whatever, NBA, nobody gets money like him.
That's true.
So you see how you can take it to the
YouTube. I think we're in an era right now where people don't really understand what's going on. They don't see opportunity, and it's masked with a lot of work, you know, but you can't fake it. You have to be genuine on YouTube. You have to say things sometimes that maybe, you know, other people may not agree with. Just speaking on my content, you know, it's kind of controversial, but it is my truth. But there's a a lot of opportunity out there if somebody could just focus their attention, their mind, do a bit more research. And yes, especially on YouTube, I feel like a lot of people can capitalize a lot more on it.
There is one lady, she's in rural Uganda or Kenya, something like that. She's in rural Kenya. What she did, she has a cell phone. All her content is typical rural. By rural, I mean she's just like my day work is my village lady work, whatever. So what she do is she's recording when she's taking the cows from the house to go to get to the grasses. That's video posting, washing the dishes, using the firewood, like those kind of things. Going to see the videos views, 1 million, 500,000 views, whatever. Her channel is, that's her life. She's in the rural area.
Look at that. Look at that.
Taking the washing the clothing kind of that way. That's her life. So people, they think that you have to do the videos you must be like having the high complete, but the person uses the same way. So that person now can be able to get, at least I'm giving example. Let's say get 2,000 per month. That is more than people with master's degree in many countries or PhD.
Yeah.
You see, so
people authenticity and consistency.
That's the key. So when I go to Tanzania, I mean, I'm planning to travel this September to go to Tanzania. Among other things, I will be having like a small training for content creators, like inviting people who want to become YouTubers or people who are young YouTubers to explain, to see the value and what they can do in their own context. And I will show them, like, because for me, even if I had the 8D camera, but when I said to me, I want to make so many videos, I use my phone.
Yeah.
And I made over 400 videos using my phone. It was easy because I didn't know how to use editing.
I started the same way too. If you look at some of the videos I do now, I used to record in my car a lot. And sometimes I wish I could, and I might go back to that once in a while, just because there's some level of authenticity when you just put your phone there and talk for a little bit and then, you know what I mean, upload the video. But yes, you can still do so much with just that phone. I mean, I'm on my phone right now.
Exactly. And another thing, let me give you another thing. People, that's why I say, like, why do you want to have iPhone in Africa and you don't want to use the features of the iPhone? Why do you want to have a better Samsung if you don't want to use the features of Samsung? One of the features you can have is what? It's just the podcast. Why can't you take the podcast and start recording yourself? Even if it's what people will be watching.
The voice, that
one is just like using just like taking a picture and just effecting on Instagram. Okay, it's okay, but find also a way on how your Instagram, you can convert people to the money. Because if 1 million people likes your picture on Instagram and me, 1 million people watch my video, we are talking two different things. I get money, you get likes.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Very, very true. Instagram is a tricky place, man. I've kind of slowed down on my, posting on Instagram. I'll probably get back to it, but yeah, very, very different.
Yeah. So for me,
I can't see why anybody would have a phone in Africa, and not be using it to post on YouTube. I don't see why not. And maybe it's a lack of belief, but I'll challenge anybody to dedicate 1 year to posting consistently 1 video a day. Speak about anything that you know about, your truth. You don't have to be an expert. Just speak your truth. Tell your opinion.
There is one lady, she started her YouTube. Now she's dating another YouTuber in West Africa. But she gave her story, how she started. She was in college. She has the techno bad phone, but she likes to travel. So wherever she's going, she recorded, like a vlog, kind of whatever. So when she's finishing the college, she was getting $3,000. Now she's getting 5,000 to 7,000. So she hasn't worked like other job. People, she has a sponsor. No, not a sponsor. It's YouTube. There's called YouTube. So one day, from what people we know YouTube, you can go and see like on social blade average someone can make. But one day she had to show people this is what do we mean? So she traveled maybe to Tanzania, she go to Uganda or Nigeria. How much $20 can take you? She goes there and maybe she makes the video. So, but people,
I've seen those videos before. Those videos are cool. What can you do with $20 here and there? That's
yes, if you find like, so you find some people, in the end, like they use the tablet or whatever they use is just like watching someone else. So if I don't make videos, I'll ending watching some other people's videos. So for me, what I do usually, yes, I watch YouTube videos, but I'm going to watch on purpose. I'm not just going, I don't have a thing to watch. Okay, let me go to a channel, I'm going to get something. I'm going to get something.
It's intentional, yes, sir.
Like, now I want to learn something about YouTube specifically. I'm going to do that. Yeah, so those are the things I'm going to do.
I don't even have time, man. I wish I had more time to take in and watch more content. I find myself not having time. And that's part of, being a content creator. There's so much good content out there and people are leveling up. It's getting a little bit more competitive, but there's still room for people to enter. But I just don't have the time. Sometimes I literally wish I had time to go watch some of my favorite YouTubers, but I'm too busy making my own content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, like, now people are like, why are you nowadays? Like, I used to do Facebook Live, but I before I knew about YouTube. So on Facebook Live, I was doing every week. I had to at least 2 live. But I said, in the end, I don't get anything when I knew about YouTube. So I started doing YouTube Live. Then Instagram, I used to do live, but nowadays I can do 1 live maybe in a month just to catch up with people and to remind people, okay, come to my YouTube here. But I don't do like specific like YouTube, Instagram, whatever. So I'm using other social media to bring people to. Yeah, and if you go to Google me, if you go to Instagram, you go to Twitter, you go to Facebook, there'll be like uniformity of the content I'm posting there. Yeah. So for instance, if someone comes to your Instagram, can get a link about your YouTube channel, can know what type of content you are doing, so someone can be, oh, let me check these videos from this person. Because you have branded also other channel to bring someone here instead of like all the time like you were just like yelling to people, writing bad comments, because that's people they are doing that one. Watching about you are WizKid fan, you are bashing so what are you going to gain in that?
Yeah. A lot of guys, man. Oh, I get a lot of my channel. I'm just like, man, these guys will write paragraphs. I'm like, well, how long did it take you to sit down and write? I wish I could respond to everybody, but sometimes everybody has too much time on their hands. Yeah. Because you need to be purposeful in what you watch on YouTube too, which should educate you and help you reach your goals.
One time people argue, I mean, that's when we WhatsApp group, like you find like some people that are there like full day, like chatting, yelling. So for me, like, why should we argue about who is better between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi? That debate will never end. So I have my preference. Why can't I, all my points, convert that to be a book? Yeah. That's why, for instance, like the reason why, for instance, let me find one book, let me show you. There is one book which is very interesting. I don't know where. It is a book about Africa. I don't know where. So, yeah, it is here. I put it here on my bag. So, because it was talking about people, we are just arguing between Africa and the US or Europe, which country will develop, why this one. So some people, they see like, oh, we are going to develop, whatever. I said, for this kind of style, we are not going anywhere. If you see the other world, what they are doing in their 24 hours a day, or the plan for the next 30 years, and what we are doing now is completely different. So because of that discussion, like I said, I don't need to waste the time. I went down, sat down, and write this book, Imperialism 2.0, Why Africa? Explaining why Africa will never develop if they don't change the blueprint of education, the thinking, the culture, or whatever. Like if we are still, you want to beat Americans and we're still teaching people about the first Livingstone come to Tanzania, to Zambia, they met with the, what does that help anything? If they met, Livingstone, John Speak, they met, they change it. What does that help you anything in this world? Like, so we have to change those kind of things. They don't start with Livingstone.
No, you're right.
So we have to change all those kind of things. If we don't change, so instead
So
of
what do you think is the number one thing a lot of African countries would have to change in order to make that switch or to
number
catch
one,
up?
first of all, they have to know there were no African country beat European power. No. That is the truth, because there is a wrong perception that, Mau Mau War, Kenyans, they beat British. The Ethiopians beat Italians. Or Maji Maji War, people put the water and they beat British. Give me a break. Back in the day, in 100, whatever, people, they had bombs. And you come with the ball and something, you beat European? No. So people should understand the truth that we were given independence not because we beat Europeans. No. They gave us independence because they were getting lost. It's capitalism.
Mm.
When they went to colonize Africa, they colonized because they wanted raw materials, markets of the manufactured goods. That's the biggest thing. But because they didn't know which country they go there, so they started fighting one another. So they were smart. They said, okay, let's divide our areas of influence, and we're going to interfere. So when they divided that way, one of the things they didn't know is the cost of operating. It's just like now, like I ask you a question, will you go to Africa and say, I haven't started doing logistics? Because you cannot just jump today, I'm going to Africa. That's why many African Americans, I'm going back to my roots. You have never been there. You do not know how to get a job. You do not know the language. You don't have a relative. So in the end, some of them, if you look, not all, some of them, they get frustrated, they come back here.
Mm.
So these people, when they went there, they didn't know that if you have a governor, you have every leadership. So British, for instance, had how many colonies? Maybe 20. But remember, if you take a British person to Tanganyika, to Zambia, to Malawi, to Botswana, those people must be paid like they're in Britain. They have to. It's just like embassy now. If you take, I know, if you become a diplomat to go to Tanzania, for instance, or Kenya or Zambia, you'll be getting paid the full salary, housing, everything will be paid for. So you have to be getting the same lifestyle like you were in England. So because they had so many people, so many colonies, it was so expensive to run. Yes, they get to profit, but instead of getting, I'm giving example, $1 million profit, maybe you get 400 profit. So what is the solution? Solution is, how can we continue getting the constant flow of raw materials and the markets of manufactured goods and lower down the cost of operation? Mm-hmm. So let's train these leaders. Let's create a certain template where you will follow the same template on our behalf. And Africans didn't know that. So for instance, in Tanzania, we say, we got independence peaceful. Give me a break. They gave you independence through a plate. Why? Because they didn't want to continue with colonization because of the cost. But what they did, they created a colonial education structure. They created a colonial mentality where you will forever be under them. You will forever not build manufacturing sector in Africa. You will forever continue to study about John Speak, Livingstone. You will continue studying about theory. You will never study about really agriculture. Tanzania, out of 27 universities, there is only one university of agriculture. In Kenya, they have 3 or 4. In Uganda, maybe 2. But how can you develop as a country for sociology degree, for political science? Because that is everybody. I want to become a lawyer. I want to become human resources. For what? And to develop the country? Never. But 80% of Africans, you go to Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, they live in the rural area. Why the budget is not rural area oriented in terms of agriculture, artificial rain? Which country has artificial rain? No. Which country is a very systematic education system of agricultural based? Not that this is sociology.
Mm.
No. There is no, and if you go to get a loan, go to China, get a loan, say I'm going to invest in agriculture and industries, they'll never give you a loan. But Kenya went there to get a loan to build a railway. They give you billions and trillions of money. Why? Because building a rail will never compete with China. But if you build an industry in your country, will reduce materials not to go to China or to go to Europe. We reduce markets from them, so they'll never give you the loan, which is sustainable. So they have to know the reason why they were given independence in the first place. So there is a chapter called, the first chapter is called The Colonial Blueprint. Why a small country like Belgium colonized the Congo up to today. Belgium is a tiny small thing. They can go, oh, Congo is just, why? Why are you right now into the what we call the Tanzania, whatever, Kenya, Uganda, whatever, the Malawi, Zambia, we are in the Commonwealth. Why are you in that? The countries which were colonized by British. Why is it a good? Why US is not in that group? You are colonized, and the leader forever will be under Queen. Why are you doing that? So there are so many things people have to do. You now, as American, you can travel to any country of Africa without a visa. You can just get it upon your arrival. But African getting the visa to come to US is like going to heaven. You have to show everything, and you have to go to the interview. But I can go to any country in Africa. I just appear like I'm going to the toilet. Why can't you, if you want to come to my country, if this is the visa requirements for my citizen to go to your country, the same, you have to go to DC, to my embassy, show the bank statement, prove to that you are not going to become illegal in my country in Malawi, in my country in Tanzania. Tit for tat, that's how you go. You have to be a big dog to fight. But if you are going to play this like you are inferior, you will forever be inferior. So we have to destroy, change the template of the education system in Africa, because that one, it was a colonial education for the purpose of becoming pyramidal. Up to now with the same thing. Everybody is waiting for a job from the government. The government doesn't have a job. So we can never go anywhere unless otherwise we go to destroy the foundation. For instance, there is this Visa card, MasterCard thing. So you find the universities in Africa, someone is studying at the university, they are taught about using the Visa card, MasterCard at the university level. But in Kenya, they don't teach about use of M-Pesa or mobile banking system. This is the one we are using from Africa, developed by Africans. But those one, the one driving the African economy right now. Why professors are not writing books about those? Because I was writing something, and there is no book about M-Pesa, Tigo Pesa, MTN, Orange Money. There are no those books. So those are the things we have a big problem. Even now, students are taught about, people are not taught like how to use the social media to the university level, but the world has people have, even to have a very good professional Twitter, because someone can get a job through Twitter, can get a job.
This is true. Any social media platform that you present yourself professionally, you can get a job from.
Those are the things people should be really going like into those. But now, without that, we'll continue to be like, oh, we are poor because of the colonization. We are poor. But the leaders are typical white people under colonial imperial powers, but they're just the same. Because what is the constitution right now of all African countries? It's copy and paste colonial. If you do something, or you disobey a certain leader, go inside. So the same regulations is the same thing. So you cannot use the same constitution. You cannot use the same template.
Yeah.
So that is that is for me like why. So there's another chapter is called Know Thy Enemy. We do not know our enemy. So we fight like, okay, the enemy is white, and we go to subject ourselves to China. China is still capitalist the same way. So the problem is not an individual. Even if Kenya becomes a capitalist like US, have the same industry will come to take your raw materials. So the problem is if you want to fight with the capitalists, you have to be capitalist first.
You have to compete.
You cannot go to play with Barcelona at Camp Nou into their stadium and you play different type of ball game. You have to beat into their own backyard, into their own system. So learn about to become a capitalist at the highest possible to compete with them. Not, oh, I'm half socialist, I'm half capitalist, I'm okay, and you want to compete with capitalists, half devil, half God to go to heaven.
Well put.
Yeah, well so put. That is my opinion on that.
Well put. Well put. Very nice.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me? I know you have been asking over the time, but do you have any specific?
Let me see here. I've not any specific questions anymore. I think I've answered the questions I've had so far. Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed at your work ethic and your scholarly like habits, especially the book writing. That to me that's very impressive. Just because it hasn't really crossed my mind. It's I've thought about it, but to hear you say, "Hey, I've written 11 books and it's not that hard," that's really inspiring. It
Thank you
truly
so much.
is.
Yeah,
And I think anybody who hears that can't leave thinking to themselves, I can't write a book. Me, I'm thinking, wow, if you can write 11 books, why
yeah.
can't you just write one?
There is one book called I haven't written yet, but I've already created the book cover. Usually I create the book cover for even for 5 years to come. So it's called Just Write That Damn Book Before You Die.
I love it. I love it.
Because I want people, because people, they think that
just write that damn book before you die.
Yeah, in every book I write, the first, it is such a quotation, I created a quotation, which says, you don't need it to be Steve Jobs or Oprah Winfrey to inspire people. You are inspiration to others in so many ways because you are God's masterpiece. Because some people, when they want to write a book, they think about Shakespeare, they think about Barack Obama's memoir, they think about stories of Oprah, Steve Jobs, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
But you can be maybe let's say you didn't finish primary school, you got all F. You can write a book why you got all the F.
Wow.
And you're still doing other things.
Wow. There you go.
To do better, not to get
There
F.
you go. There you go. And honestly, right there, same thing with YouTube content. You can use that for anything. Everybody's story is unique.
Exactly.
And that story can affect and touch somebody else. That's a wonderful perspective right there.
Yeah. So that's why I encourage people, just write that damn book. Write. Your story is unique. We can come together in the same time to the university. We can live in the same house, but we have two different processing in our mind. Write that book.
Yeah.
So like, that's what encourage people, just write. Just don't expect to sell. Like, assume you are going to die today. What are you going to leave down as written material about you? Just assume Barack Obama's father. What if Barack Obama's father was writing all these letters like me now, and Obama became the president? How those letters could be having the meaning right now to the grandchildren, to the Obama's children, and the children of Obama children. But because Obama's children, even Obama himself, didn't have much experience living with the father. Their children, no clue about Kenya. But what if these letters, like I'm giving example, these letters, you can be able, I will send you some of these letters, you can be able to see what will this have the meaning. Those are the things, like I wrote them. Why am I writing these letters? So there are so many things people should make sure that you can document these kind of things instead of all the oral tradition. Let's leave the writings. They will stay there forever.
Yeah.
Some of my book, for instance, Barnes and Nobles, I've never uploaded my book on Barnes and Nobles because my book was searched so many times. Barnes and Nobles took my book, put into their collection.
Wow.
The more, you never know what is going to happen.
Wow.
And I've helped one guy, he put it, it's a Swahili book. I helped the guy to put the book on Amazon. He promoted it a lot. His book is on even in Walmart. It's a Swahili book. Like, he has never even put the book there. His book is on Barnes and Nobles. His book. So you see, like, it helps you in one way or another on so many other levels.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, so I believe we'll have another interview before the end of the year when we are celebrating 25,000 subscribers. We'll have
another. Yes, sir.
Interview.
Of course, it'll be my pleasure. You know, I've learned a lot just throughout this talk. You know, and I appreciate you, for bringing me on. I was looking forward to it, and I'm glad that we made it happen.
Yeah, anytime, in case you want to interview me, I'm okay. I mean, content might be different based on the channel. If you want to ask about the processing, like African versus American relationship in terms of how mine's going on, interracial relationship with cultural background. If you want to ask me, like you have the interview of that kind, I'm okay. So
I would love to have you on for a discussion like that. It will happen. I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now.
This meeting online is real because I met my wife online on
Oh
eHarmony.
wow. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, now 10 years later, we are already still married and we have kids. So all of those kind of things you can be able to, how do you manage, like, you are processing your things in African mindset, you live in America. This person born and raised in America, but is living with someone in Africa. How do you, yeah, so it's up to you. Whatever you want to interview me, anytime I'm okay to be a guest.
Oh, definitely. I was 10 steps ahead of you before you even said it. I was in the back of my head. I was thinking I'm gonna have to figure out what conversation I want to have with you, because now that I know you, the whole perspective on writing books and everything. Of course, I'm sure people would love to hear about that, but also hearing about how you found your wife and everything. That's also something very interesting.
She was a
Modern.
Catholic man for 12 years.
She was what?
A Catholic sister for 12 years.
Oh wow. Wow,
Yeah.
very interesting.
So
It doesn't get. I focus on modern
book.
dating, and it doesn't get any more modern than eHarmony for sure.
There is one book I go to write. It's called "Marrying a Former Nun," a former Catholic. So it's just like anything you have to write, like. Yeah. So.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Personally, I don't have any other question. I really appreciate for creating this time, almost 2 hours of your time. We know the value of time in America, but also what you have been doing on your YouTube channel is not just YouTube, it's also lessons we learn. And I believe many people have the opportunity to keep learning also from, I want to take the channel also to put here on the comment, so people can be able to go there and subscribe again. So
I appreciate it.
All those kind of things we appreciate, don't take it for granted, and especially when we see people also come from the same background. It doesn't matter, no matter what age you came to America. If you're African, you are African. Your parents are raising you as African. That's why I know you are African, no matter. So there are certain things, yes, you'll be having typical American, but still there are certain values of family, the values of appreciating certain things, which you are raised in that kind of background. You show those kind of things. You have been showing those kind of things on your YouTube channel. And because my channel is having a lot of immigrants, I believe people will be having that opportunity to learn a lot from your channel, because success in America is not about having good money. How you can conversate with another person, husband or wife. Because you might come, someone, a woman is alpha, and you just start arguing, you start beating, and you go to be beaten. You are going to be into this, whatever. So all those kind of things you are talking on your channel, people should not take it for granted. Is another way on how you can be able to succeed here. About relationship is a big factor to succeed. Come here,
either destroy you or make you. A big factor. The person you choose.
Baby mamas, you'll be in trouble, and start abusing the women in trouble. So your content is very, very important for immigrants coming here to get the basics understanding about the modern day and the complexities which we have, just beyond just to be the head of the family in African context. You are here. It's a different thing. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, anybody's welcome to go check out the content. You know what I mean? I appreciate anybody that subscribes, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get together and talk. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, so everyone, please make sure that you go to Shisha said the YouTube channel. Just type those words you can see there, or in the comment. You can be able to see the page. You can be able to subscribe. If you want to lose weight, you want to know about love, about relationship, about how not to be in trouble, how to have a successful life, all those kind of things related to the family in general. So those are key. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I appreciate so much. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, man. We'll do it again on my platform pretty soon, all right?